You remember when I said that there's a very specific time frames for certain checks and validity of those checks. That means security check lasts 15 months, interview with immigration officer is 15 months, biometrics 15 months. I know for assurances, we need to assure every case once a year in order for our main office in New York to know that we still agree to accept the case. Medical clearance here is 90 days, but actually it's 6 months. That means with everything else, when is aligned, there is a 60-day travel window for refugees to travel. And if any of these checks expired, everything is thrown back to the phase one. After done with the medical checkup, then it's coming cultural orientation. It's actually orientation. Sometimes it's given a week, sometimes few hours, depending on the programs of how many staff is able to actually perform the orientation. That means orientation is given to clients about the country where they are going to, and IOM, it's actually International Organization for Migration, is the one that finances the travel. But before refugees go, they actually sign the contract with IOM telling that they are going to repay their loan for traveling. This is a number of admission in Idaho from 2001 to 2011. They were admitted less than 12,000 refugees. As you see, the numbers after September 11th were very small, and then it takes so much time for the program, I think, because it's so big, to actually get momentum of moving. And every stop, it's at least 6 months stop in arrivals. This is a demographic of countries that are our clients, refugees coming to United States, to Idaho, and as you can see, the biggest is Congolese population. I mentioned that IOM arranged the travel of refugees. There are 9 big volunteer or non-governmental agencies in the United States that have affiliate offices in different cities and different states that help with a resettlement process. They are usually, I think, from 9, there are 2 or 3 that they are not faith-based, and they were established long before the refugee program actually started existing in a law, because people of faith were accepting strangers and helping them. There are 350 affiliate offices in 49 states. I think only Wyoming is the one that does not have a refugee program. Agency for New Americans is affiliate office of Episcopal Immigration Ministry, EMM. This is about the travel loan. People sign the contract. They sometimes have interpreters during the signing. Some of them, they actually have translation of the document. But believe me, going through that process, you actually don't know what are you signing. You just want to go somewhere to be safe, and then when you come here, you realize, yeah, that's agreement, and you have to pay back. And especially for the families that they are big families, their debt, it's several $1,000s. They have a 42 months to repay that loan. Every child over 18 years that arrives with a family, it's actually considered as a separate adult person. These are resettlement agencies in Idaho. There are two in Boise, Agency for New Americans and International Rescue Committee. We actually had a World Relief Agency that was closed as of May of this year due to cut in the funding. I know our main office actually closed 6 of other affiliate offices of EMN. These are agency goals. Every agency in the whole resettlement program, these are the main goals for every family to become self-sufficient, specifically economically self-sufficient as soon as possible. We are strength-based, even though we know that we are dealing with trauma, and for some clients, traumatic events that they went through are very hard to kind of overcome, but we always try to find something that is strength in their character, in their perseverance to come here. We are here actually to cheer them up and tell them that they can do it, and we will be there to help them. But the whole process is very motivated actually for people to be able to support themselves. This is our little chart of programs that we have. This means when the client comes, usually the first person that meets them at the airport is a case manager. Case manager is a person that finds apartments, that helps with scheduling all first appointments, a registration for school, registration for English classes, applying for the food stamps and Medicaid. In the first 2 weeks, refugees have at least 10 to 15 meetings. That means we really try to provide information as much as we can. We are pretty sure that they don't know the half of it after those 2 weeks because it's so much, but we are required by Department of State and ORR, federal founders, to actually have orientations and apply for our services within 7 to 10 days in order to be in compliance with the program. And we also know that probably all that information that we provide for our clients in the first 2 weeks, we will probably need to repeat so many more times because it's impossible to actually remember everything. This is a little bit about the money. When a refugee arrives to the United States, Department of State provides every refugee with a lump sum of $925. And actually that's what is coming to the agency for the refugee. They receive the pocket money, $30 if it's single person, family of 4 and more, it's $120. Everything else goes mainly for housing applications, deposit and rent. We have a list of the furniture that we have to provide to refugees, and it's very basic and it's very specific. Like, we need to provide 1 chair per person, one fork, one spoon, one knife, one plate, kitchen table, bed, and one sitting space. That means if a single person arrives, they will probably get the armchair. If a couple arrives, they will probably receive a love seat. And I know sometimes our clients desperately, maybe, they have volunteers coming, they have somebody from the community comes and they say, we don't have enough chairs, but in the times when we have so many arrivals, we actually just stick to the things that we have to provide, and then if we have something extra after arrivals and everything, when we're sure that everybody gets what they're supposed to get, we are able to give some extra. Donated items are actually donated to the clients. They need to be in a decent condition. I think recently, because of the bug bags, we actually only bed bugs, sorry. We are not able to use donated beds to our clients. We have to provide them new beds, and actually last year we received a great donation from LDS Church. They actually donated beds to our clients, and that's enormous saving because one bed is around $200.